Well, I'm truly in the pink. I'm joined by Janice Lindsay, an interior color consultant and stylist. And Janice, I want to tell the viewers about where the whole concept for this episode came from. The movie is Funny Face. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn, Fred Astaire. There's a madcap scene where they're looking for a cover girl for a magazine, and the editors determine in a flourish of color as they throw pink around the studio, they tell Audrey Hepburn's magazine editors to think pink. And that's what we want to do today. But it's important to talk about the history of pink, why are we attracted to it, and what it's all about. And you are the expert, so you got to teach us today.
I'll try.
Okay. History of.
History of. Well, I think the first pink period, per se, would have been in the 18th century, and it started with Madame Pompadour, who was Louis XV's divine mistress.
A mistress started it all.
That's right. And she adored pink, and it was a very dusty rose pink. So the Limoges Company, in her honor, coined the term Pompadour pink, and it's really stuck ever since for soft, subdued, dusty pink. And it really wasn't until, I would say, the 1930s with Elsa Schiaparelli that pink became very popular again, but this time shocking pink, or what we consider to be lipstick pink.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that the color was in and then out and it comes back in. So I guess it really follows a curve of being really hot, really low, and so forth. Give me a prediction. Are we going to be looking at pink in the next little bit?
With the millennium, we're going to be ready for pink again.
Yeah.
And what will make it different this time is it won't be any one pink, it will be all pinks.
So this is a tip, like we're the first saying, go pink, right?
Yeah, you are. You're ahead of the game.
There seems to be an evolution, I think, with all colors, and you've brought along samples of different tones and combinations of pink. Is this quite common now to do? I love doing this kind of stuff, like combining different tones and colors. Is that quite common now when you're using colors?
Yeah, in fact, we'll even take pink to pink and red to give it, I mean, this will seem subdued on some level. We'll just keep going with pink and bring out all its power and energy. Some people will. Others may still prefer a more subdued combination. But as I say, it'll have a personality to suit everyone.
Are there people who have certain personality traits and you'll know that they're into pink? Is it that type of a science almost?
Well, there does seem to be a male-female split with pink, which is sort of what's held it back, I think, in some way. But when you think of clothing, women wear pink in many different ways, but for a man, I mean, the most conservative man on earth might wear a pink Brooks Brothers shirt with his blazer, and it seems perfectly mainstream. If he were then to wear a pink sweater, you'd think he was a little bit eccentric. So it's really how you use pink that determines your personality or your taste. It isn't pink that will tell you.
Do you ever consider that when you're doing your consultations or when you're designing? Do you ever think, hey, what's it going to look like if I put an entire room filled with pink or another color?
Yeah, I do, which is why if I were doing a pink room, I would probably not go with a pink like that, which would just take over every minute of the day. But there are things like this pink, which is so subtle that it's not until you see it against, say, your white paint, you know, your molding and sealing, that you realize it's pink at all. So that's a sort of conservative way to introduce pink. And the other thing is just buy a pink chair or cover a sofa with some hot pink or get the cushions in there and just have fun with it for a while.
I should redo this maybe in pink. What do you think? I don't know if that would actually
Maybe just
work.
the piping.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wanted to thank you for joining us because you certainly have enlightened us on this wonderful color. And am I a summer, a winter, a fall, or?
I don't get into that.
You don't, eh? Let me send you home with one of these. I need the rest for the arrangement, but that's with my thanks.
Oh, thank you. And with love.
And with love,
Symbol
exactly.
of love.
Exactly. There you go.